Do you kind of want to talk like sleeper picks for a little bit here?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I haven't actually dived into like the rankings or that yet, but trying to think of some guys just off the top of my head here.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, a sleeper is generally like a younger player who could have a really good season, but like they haven't really played in the NHL yet, so you don't really know what to expect from them. Or it could be an older player that's maybe fallen off the last couple of years. They got traded in the off season, so like they could have a good bounce back, sort of thing. So, say a guy like Mason McTavish could be a sleeper pick because there's no guarantee he's going to be playing, so he tends to fall down the rankings quite a bit. People haven't really heard of him if they're not hardcore fans like us, or if you're not a Ducks fan. So if you're getting to the last couple rounds and you're not really sure who to take, Mason McTavish will likely be available. You could take him and just kind of keep him on your roster so that if he does make the team or gets called up later, you have him and you can play him to be able to get a lot of points, like because he could put up Trevor Zegras type numbers this season, but you got him 6 rounds after Trevor Zegras was drafted, or 8 rounds or whatever.
Yeah. And I think I even did that with Zegras, not last season, but the season before.
Yeah.
I think I did that actually. I picked up Zegras like late and it worked out pretty well. So the NHL website actually does have an article on their top 10 sleeper picks for the 22-23 season. So if you want to go check that out. And there are some still like notable names on there that could be considered sleeper picks because people aren't thinking of them. Like say Tyler Toffoli for Calgary there.
Yeah. Had a really rough like second half of the season after he got traded. So
Alex Tuck is another one that they're listing here from Buffalo.
Because he finished the season very strong. Tage Thompson, I would put up there as well, just as we're talking about Buffalo.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah, they have a thing as well of like top 10 sleeper picks or that sort of thing. One for myself could be, I'm trying to think of like within our division here. Andrew Mangiapane for the Calgary Flames could potentially be one, right?
Because he could play quite high in the lineup as well.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even like, oh, this guy's just going to suddenly get a bunch of points, right? It could be even just this guy plays higher in the lineup and is able to get stuff from that.
Actually, sorry, just while we're on that brings me to something that I learned. Well, we learned in our first few years of a fantasy league is if one guy is really going off, it's beneficial to have his line mates. So like, what was the line? It was in LA, and this was like quite a few years ago, back when Toffoli was obviously there. But it was Tyler Toffoli, Tanner Pearson, and there was one other guy, and that line was just on fire,
just going for it. Yeah,
and the other guy, he wasn't like a super big name, but because Pearson and Toffoli were having such good seasons, and this guy had chemistry with them, some like nobody was like had fantasy value just because he racked up assists because he was feeding Tyler Toffoli, who was just having an insane season.
I remember it was the 18-19 season, and I drafted them this way as well. I had the entire Calgary Flames top line of Elias Lindholm, Sean Monahan, and Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah.
And that just racked me up points. So because they were just going off. So if anybody managed to have that Flames top line last year of Tkachuk, Gaudreau, and Lindholm, holy shit.
Yeah, I think getting Tkachuk and Gaudreau together would be tough, but
that'll be interesting this year too, right? So like, does their stock go higher or fall depending on the Columbus and Florida at this point? So it'll be interesting to see how it kind of works out in our own leagues and everything like that. But
yeah, exactly.
Trevor Zegras honestly could be a sleeper pick. You already said Mason McTavish.
Yeah.
Jamie Drysdale for power play points. If we're looking just at Ducks, right?
Even John Klingberg just for the power play points.
John Klingberg for sure. He'll probably be seeing power play time. You would imagine, right?
I don't know why else you would bring him in, really.
Yeah.
Besides to be a power play guy and to mentor Drysdale in that role too. So
yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, those are a few that I would say for Anaheim at least. So Ryan Strome could be a guy to look at. He's Daily Faceoff has him projected as the second line center right now. So
yeah, and I mean
he'll still be beneficial.
He'll probably get time with Troy Terry and Trevor Zegras as well.
Yeah.
Which could be good. So and with how good Troy Terry was last season, like anybody who ends up on a line with Troy Terry is a good pick for later rounds.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
that's just like a few Duck sleeper picks that I could think of off the top of my head. Right, it is some of just like those young guys that are,
they're not like household names.
Yeah, they're not the fantasy household names even, right? So
yeah,
but
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any others. I guess like guys from like first round picks from this last year. So like Shane Wright would be a good pick. Derek Grant sleeper pick. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Shane Wright. Who's the other one? Yaroslav Slavkovsky, whatever his first name is. Yeah, he's I'm blanking on his first name. It's like Juraj or something. Oh, no, it's gonna bother me. What's his first name? Slavkovsky.
Yeah, Yarrow.
Yeah, is that how it is? How it's pronounced? So.
Just
Juraj.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Slavkovsky. Yep.
Slavkovsky. Anyways, Maddie Veneers was called up late in the season last year, and he had a really strong finish.
Oh, and he should be on the Seattle Kraken roster this year.
He should be, exactly. But I don't think he's gonna have like a high average draft pick.
Yeah. I'm trying to think even for like backup goalies.
Oh, Owen Power with Buffalo.
Yeah, Owen Power could be for Buffalo.
For backup goalies, I'm kind of biased with Stuart Skinner because I think he could earn himself a lot of starts behind Jack Campbell this year. It's it's very possible Jack Campbell plays 60 games, but it's also possible they split him 40 and 40 depending on how it goes. So
yeah.
Georgiev with Colorado, he's going to be more of the starter, but I think a lot of people are kind of looking over
kind of what now? So
yeah, right.
It'll be interesting there, but
yeah, the goalies, Matt Murray in Toronto, that could be a interesting one. I know you hate Matt Murray, and I would never draft him either. But
okay, no, it's not that I hate Matt Murray. I just don't. And I think more people are seeing it now. I just don't think he was as good as people thought he was. That's all it was. It's not that I hate Matt Murray or I'm like, out to get him or anything like that. People just kind of put him on a pedestal, and I was like, no, put him down a peg.
Yeah, that's
5
fair.
or 10.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. Maddie Veneers, average draft position, 158th overall. So you're looking like in a 10-team league.
That's like
end of the 16th round.
Yeah.
15th, 16th round. Yeah. So like he might not even really get there, but like he'd be a good later round pick is my point. So
yeah.